Whenever you hear the word Starbucks, what comes to your mind? Coffee, right? But what if I told you that Starbucks is actually a bank? Now let's find out what's actually brewing at Starbucks, whether it's coffee or something else.
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Starbucks.
Starbucks. Starbucks. Starbucks.
So when we talk about the biggest companies in the world, they excel at what they do. But McDonald's is damn good at making burgers. Harvard is the best university in the world. But what we don't know is that the biggest companies in the world don't just operate in their own field. McDonald's is one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. A huge amount of money that McDonald's makes is by rent it generates from various franchises. Now, Harvard and Stanford are the biggest universities, but they're also one of the biggest investment companies in the world. They literally invest across all over the world, right? Now, if you're listening to this for the first time, you might be slightly confused. I was also confused. Don't worry about this. But Starbucks, the biggest coffee company in the world, is now turning into a bank. And this bank is where you keep your money and you have an account. But it's not as straightforward as it seems. They don't have a banking license. So we're going to understand what is happening with Starbucks and all of this in today's episode of finstory. So stay tuned. Now there are a few things in our world that are connected to each other so much that the two items separately becomes impossible, and that is coffee and Starbucks, right? Whenever you talk about coffee, immediately it transports me to a Starbucks outlet where I'm opening my MacBook, sitting there with a nice smell of coffee, and I'm just listening and enjoying my life, right? Now Starbucks operates over 33,000 stores in 76 countries. Their total revenue in 2021 was $29 billion. But here's where the story takes a U-turn. A massive 41% of this revenue came from gift card sales. Now this switch from paying coffee using a gift card or an electronic card has revolutionized the way people actually pay for their coffee. But let's see all of this, how this happened with the story of Starbucks and how they've landed up here. By 1996, Starbucks had opened 1,000 stores and everything was going as planned. The company showed massive growth and became a household name in America. Soon they captured the entire coffee market and said, now we're going for the world. But this is where the problem came in 2008. Now in 2008, they ran into a problem because they had opened too many stores too fast. In the year 2000, a new guy called Orrin Smith became the CEO, and under this new management, Starbucks grew even faster. So basically from the year 2000 to 2007, Starbucks grew more than 4 times, and over the course of these 7 years, they opened 1,500 new stores every year. And Starbucks was very good at scouting amazing locations. Now a single store of Starbucks had such a beautiful impact that a new phenomenon called the Frappuccino effect was coined. According to the Frappuccino effect, the price of real estate appreciated by 30% of more when Starbucks opened a store nearby. Now, this is when things started to go down, right? Why? Because when you start opening too much stores, you compromise on something. People started having quality issues and customers were dissatisfied, and Starbucks was in deep trouble. After that, straight away the 2008 financial crisis happened, and that again took a massive beating for the stock price of Starbucks.
We read everywhere, essentially, down by 4 or 5%. We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
So in 2008, Howard said, boss, let me come back as CEO and I'm going to change a lot of things in this company. Now Starbucks had to do something big, and that's what they did. They basically closed down 900 stores in 2 years, and then they started restoring their founding principles, which was product quality and customer experience. So they focused on these two things that they were really good at from day one. Now let's look at Starbucks today. Starbucks increased their focus on technology and hired its first CTO, right? It launched the Starbucks loyalty card, and the new focus led Starbucks to release its own app, which is now responsible for a remarkable 30% of the company's total sales. Now here's where things started becoming very interesting. Now loyalty apps allow users to accumulate reward points and then get a free drink or a free meal or some discount. Now Starbucks rewarded their customers heavily if they made their payments via a Starbucks card. Now the way it works is, instead of paying with cash or credit card, you can also pay with your Starbucks card. So basically load your Starbucks card with money and then pay. And if you pay with the app on your phone, then basically double the number of stars you get, and that lets you get a free drink from Starbucks. Now you might think that, Shashank, this is so stupid because then they will lose all their money. If they were doing it normally, then they don't have to give a free drink. But this simple strategy became one of the most impactful things in the industry, and let me tell you what exactly happened because of that. Now because of Starbucks' size and the customer loyalty, customers were not afraid to keep some of their money in their Starbucks account, as they know that they'll someday or the other go buy a piece of Starbucks, right? 41% of users pay with the Starbucks card. I didn't even know this. This was amazing, right? Now, let me tell you a basic fact. 85% of all banks in America have less than $1 billion in assets. Now my question to you is, can you guess how much money is currently loaded in Starbucks card all across the world? More than $3 billion. Now, we as customers will obviously one day exchange that money for coffee. But in the meantime, we unknowingly provide Starbucks with $3 billion loan at 0% interest. And what do you know the best part is? Starbucks can now use this money however they want, however they like, and they can also invest this money in the market because there's no refunds and they're earning money for free. Now, it is even better than it looks, right? Because 10% of this money has been forgotten or lost and has never been used, and this is known as breakage. The thing is, Starbucks is not a legal bank, right? They're legally not a bank. So Starbucks, basically, you cannot go and say withdraw the money back. You have to load your money again and then you have to go buy a coffee again. So you cannot withdraw money, but that money is already sitting in Starbucks bank account. Mind blowing. Now, if Starbucks wanted to, it has all the elements to build a full-fledged currency or partner with other brands to create a widely available mobile payment system. Now, customers already use Starbucks gift cards as the next best thing to money. Starbucks gift card is somewhat like in liquid, not because it can be converted to coffee, but because you can reasonably give it to someone and they can easily go and buy it. It's a universal thing. I can go to America tomorrow and still use that card, right? I hope you understood this, right? The idea of the second largest restaurant chain in the world entering the financial services industry is very surprising. But if Starbucks were to do something like this, the banking world will be something else only in the future. Even some traditional banks are now fearful of what it might do next. Now, we can open bank accounts on the internet, so why not start doing the same thing while getting your coffee at Starbucks? This was finstory. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was mind-blowing for me to understand this concept that they're making so much money free of cost and it's all coming from a cup of coffee. I'm going to see you guys soon. If you like this, share it with your friends and subscribe this channel. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye.